I want to start today with a feeling. I think it's something a lot of us are walking around with.
Okay.
It's not just, stress about work. It's more like the sensation of constantly walking on eggshells.
Even in your own head?
Exactly. Even when you're totally alone, that split-second pause before you speak, where you kind of scan your own thoughts for something wrong.
The self-curation. The constant low hum of surveillance.
Yes, that's it. And I guess I always thought, well, this is a modern thing. Social media, the news cycle.
That's the common assumption. Right. It's a glitch in our current system.
But looking at the groundwork for this deep dive, I get the feeling you're about to tell me this is much, much older.
It is the oldest problem.
Yeah.
The analysis we're digging into today suggests that what you're describing isn't a side effect of modern life at all.
It's the main feature.
It is the fundamental condition of civilization itself. We tell ourselves this story, right? That civilization is a victory march for reason.
Reason over chaos, morality over instinct, all of that.
But the theory here suggests civilization isn't a victory. It's a confession.
A confession. That's a heavy way to put it right at the start.
It's a confession of guilt. The whole diagnosis is that culture isn't the cure for our wildness. It's just the scar tissue that's formed around it. The war you feel inside your head, well, that's because the moral world is built on a battlefield.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive has to be unpacking that, why we have this internal judge, and why the war isn't happening out there, but, right between our own ears.
Precisely. Let's get into the machinery of it.
But hold on, let me just challenge that premise for a second. Because for me, morality, that voice in my head saying, don't do that, I always thought of it as a good thing. Me trying to be a decent person.
And that's the story we tell ourselves.
Are you saying that trying to be good is actually the problem?
Good is a very loaded word. The framework we're exploring today, it points us back to a kind of origin myth, a psychological truth disguised as a story about where that internal judge really comes from.
Okay.
And it is not pretty.
Lay it out for me.
Okay, picture the primal horde. This is pre-civilization. You have this group of brothers, and then you have one tyrannical, all-powerful father.
Alpha.
The ultimate alpha. He monopolizes everything, the power, the women, the resources. He is the one great no.
She's the barrier to everything they want.
Exactly. And so eventually the brothers, they unite. They do the unthinkable. They commit the primal crime.
They kill the father.
They kill the father.
Yeah.
And they succeed.
So the tyrant is dead.
Yeah.
Freedom. Right. The party starts.
You would think so.
Yeah.
But this is the twist. And it's the absolute crux of this whole theory. After the murder, they don't feel free.
What do they feel?
Overwhelming, unbearable remorse. Guilt.
But why? He was a monster.
Because it's never that simple, is it? Human emotion is ambivalent. They hated him, yes, but they also admired him. They feared him, but they also wanted to be him.
Oh.
So in the myth, they do something very strange. They eat the father.
Wait, literally? Like cannibalism?
In the myth, yes. But think of it metaphorically. It's about identification. By consuming him, they make him a part of themselves.
So the external tyrant.
Moves from the outside world directly into their own heads.
They internalized him?
Precisely. The external prohibition becomes the internal superego. And that is the birth of the conscience. We aren't good because we want to be. We're good because we've swallowed the voice that says no.
Wow. So conscience isn't a moral compass pointing north. It's more like a prison warden you hired to live in your own mind.
A garrison is a perfect analogy. So every time you stop yourself, every time you feel that spike of guilt for wanting something bad, that's not just social conditioning.
It's me reenacting the murder in the meal.
You're reenacting the ancient trauma. The superego is whispering, you must not want what you want.
That is incredibly dark. But again, I have to push back on the timeline here. That's a primal horde. We live in an age of liberation, of authenticity. We're all supposed to be our true selves.
The great illusion of our time.
How can we be that repressed if we're technically more free than ever?
Because repression didn't disappear. It just got a better publicist. It went underground and dressed itself up in the language of freedom.
How does that work? Give me an example of repression that looks like freedom.
Okay, look at how modern morality works now, especially online. It's not just don't steal, it's much more subtle.
It's about your intentions, your language.
Purity of intention, yes. Absolute correctness of your language. Total alignment with the right values. The rules have shifted from what you do to who you are.
And if you deviate, you're not just wrong.
You're toxic,
Right.
problematic. And the punishment isn't a fine. It's social death.
Cancellation. Ostracism.
the withdrawal of belonging, which you see triggers that same primal fear of being cast out of the horde. And the scariest part is, we do it to ourselves, voluntarily.
We don't need a dictator anymore.
We do the work for him. We tell ourselves we're being ethical, we're doing the work, but deep down, we're just afraid.
That connects right back to that quiet panic I was talking about. It's not just oops, it's a survival instinct.
Yes, that's the superego. And the cost of all this, what's called the discontent in civilization, is that we trade our vitality for security.
And we pay for it with things like anxiety, depression.
Burnout. And burnout in this context isn't just about your job. It's this sheer exhaustion of maintaining the mask, of constantly asking, will this keep me safe?
So it's a massive energetic tax on the psyche.
A huge tax.
Let's go deeper on that energy, because the source material brings up these two primal forces, Eros and Thanatos. Eros, again, love, life, connection. But Thanatos, that's the death drive, right?
Correct. And this is where the theory gets, well, very intense. The idea is that Thanatos is just as fundamental as Eros. It's not evil, not really, it's entropy.
Like in physics, the universe winding down.
Exactly like physics. Life is tension. Life is struggle. Thanatos is the deep, deep pull towards stillness, the desire for the tension to cease.
So it's not that we want to die, just that we want the struggle to end.
A return to the inorganic silence. But here's the problem. You can't just act on it. Society won't let you. So culture forces us to redirect it.
Redirect it where?
Well, it can go outward or inward. Outward, it becomes aggression, conquest, war. We destroy others so we don't have to destroy ourselves.
Okay, that's clear enough. What about inward?
When civilization says you can't be aggressive, all that energy, it bounces off the wall and it turns back on the self.
And that's where the guilt comes from.
That's guilt, self-sabotage. The superego becomes a kind of silent executioner, using your own aggression against you. It doesn't just say, don't do that. It says, you are bad for even wanting that.
This explains that idea about the weaponization of morality. When we block these drives, they don't go away.
They mutate. The rule is that the energy never vanishes. Blocked sexuality can return as moral panic. Blocked aggression
returns as rageous indignation.
Exactly.
The notes made this key distinction between sublimation and moralization. Can you break that down?
This is absolutely crucial. Sublimation is the healthy path. It's alchemy. You take a raw impulse rage, chaos, and you channel it into art or science or building something.
You transform it.
But to do that, you have to first admit the feeling is there. You have to say, I am angry.
And moralization is what we do when we can't admit it.
Moralization is when you deny the feeling and dress it up as a virtue. Instead of, I am angry and want to destroy you, you say, I am morally superior and you are evil and therefore you deserve to be destroyed.
Wow. That sounds a lot like modern politics.
It's the engine of it. We project our own darkness onto the other side. We call them toxic or contaminated so that we can feel clean. It's a very primitive defense.
It's like we're trying to cast out our own demons by pointing at someone else's.
Exactly. But we live in a state of fraudulence, preaching compassion while nursing resentment.
I mean, this feels honestly a little hopeless. If civilization makes us sick and our attempts to be good are just disguised aggression, what's the alternative? Do we just burn it all down?
That's the fantasy, isn't it? The noble savage. But no, the hard truth is that we can't. Unchecked Eros is total chaos. Unchecked Thanatos is annihilation. We'd have brutality, not paradise.
So we're damned if we do, damned if we don't.
It's a paradox. But here is the crucial insight. And if you take one thing from this deep dive, it's this. We need the repression to become a self.
What does that mean, to become a self?
To have an I, to have an identity. Think of a river. Without banks, it's just a swamp. No direction, no force. The banks, the limitations, that's what gives the river its shape.
So the restriction creates the definition.
Identity is forged in refusal. The I emerges the moment you say no to a desire. A person without inner conflict isn't free. They're just inert, dissolved.
The friction is the point, then.
The friction creates the spark of consciousness.
Okay, but the text also brings up a justice angle. This psychic cost, this repression tax. It's not paid equally by everyone, is it?
No, it's not. The powerful often get to externalize their death drive. They wage wars, they exploit others, they push their aggression out into the world.
While marginalized groups
are often forced to internalize it. They're taught to doubt their own anger, to soften their edges, to turn that aggression against themselves as self-doubt. So our civilization is often built on a very unequal distribution of repression.
That's a heavy thought, but let's bring it back to the listener, to that feeling we started with. If we can't win this war inside, what are we supposed to do?
The first step is to completely reframe the goal. We're obsessed with winning, with solving it, with making the anxiety go away for good.
We want the fix, the hack.
But the goal isn't to win the war. The goal is to witness it.
Witness it. That sounds so passive.
It's the most active thing you can do, to dwell in that tension without collapsing one way or the other. Your soul isn't a territory to be conquered. The soul is the friction. It is the no man's land between the desire and the prohibition.
So you admit both exist. Instead of trying to kill the desire or ignore the rule.
You find the courage to hold both, to say, yes, I want this, and yes, I cannot have it, and I am shaped by that impossibility.
Ambivalence. We treat that like a bad word.
We do, but it's the height of humanity. Holding two opposing truths at once. It's not hypocrisy. It's the realization that we're both the machinery of the system and the ghosts haunting it.
So living in the ruins doesn't mean giving up.
It means stopping the pretense that the ruins aren't there. It means admitting that every act of belonging involves a quiet betrayal, and every act of rebellion carries a cost. And just seeing that machinery, that's the only real freedom available.
The source never promised happiness, did it?
Not at all. It offered the chance to move from hysterical misery to ordinary unhappiness.
Ordinary unhappiness. That's the sales pitch.
It sounds bleak, but think about it. It frees you from the tyranny of having to be perfect, of having to be positive all the time. It allows you to look at your anxiety not as a defect, but as the sound of the engine running.
It's a kind of forgiveness, isn't it? Forgiving yourself for being in conflict.
Yes, exactly.
So to bring this all home, we started with the primal crime, the killing of the father.
And traced it to modern burnout and the feeling of self-surveillance.
We saw the external tyrant become the internal judge, the superego.
We saw how our so-called freedom can be repression in disguise, and how our primal drives, Eros and Thanatos, always find an outlet.
And the final, maybe most important takeaway is that this war isn't happening to us.
That's the haunting realization. The war isn't happening to you, it is you. You are the battlefield.
Which leaves us with that final thought. The question isn't who wins.
The question is whether you are willing to live in the ruins of that battlefield and still call it home.